being here at Sycamore, it was my first time ever actually housekeeping here at a hospital. And when the pandemic started, it honestly, for me, it took a lot of adjusting, and especially with what was going on and how everything started changing when literally actually the first 2 days, you hear about this virus, and then they start changing everything, changing how stuff is done, and just to make sure everybody is safe.
It was very sad in the beginning, very painful. As I toured and learned and grew to the job on the COVID floor, you see the commercials on TV of the patients in the room, and nurses and doctors come in these special suits and hats and oxygen and stuff. And upon me coming to Sycamore, it wasn't just a TV show, it was the real thing. When I arrived for work, I saw nurses and doctors through the windows because all the rooms were private and secured and enclosed.
During this pandemic, there were so many people that was alone. We were one of the only people that patients got to see throughout this whole pandemic. I would go in the rooms, talk to them a little bit. Sometimes it's also something I do during morning meetings. I like to do a joke of the day, and I try to give them a joke, just to make them laugh, anything to boost their spirit up a bit.
I had a patient, and his name was Ron, and I met Ron there in my wing, and he was recovering from COVID. I went to clean Ron's room, and I just felt this need to spend some time with Ron. And I began to pray for Ron. Ron told me that he felt the Spirit of God upon him that day. And Ron recovered. Ron went home. But I prayed for Ron every day that I went into his room, before surgeries, after surgeries. When Ron got to leave the hospital, he would not leave unless he saw me before he left that day. So I had already cleaned his room, and he says, "I'm going home today." And he goes, "But I'm not leaving until you come back, and you get to watch me walk out my room and say goodbye." And a couple weeks later, I received a card in the mail from Ron and his family. It says that, "Jeff, we thank you for so much for your kindness and caring. May God bless you in your ministry to patients."